This is the story of the very, very happy crab. He's a very happy crab. He lived, as crabs do, on a beach next to the sea, which is lovely, and so on. He had big pincers like this, which are pincers. Oh yes, and he had a shell, and I think it was about 6 legs either side, which he always kept in the best possible condition. He was a lovely colour. He was a sort of a crab colour, really, a sort of browny reddy colour. So we'll colour in the lovely crab. He was a lovely, lovely colour. Yes, that's his colour, just like that. And also a little bit of the old pinky red, which the old lovely crab colour is lovely of. Now the crab, being a nice, happy, easy-go-lucky crab, had a friend. His friend was a seagull. Yes, a seagull friend. The seagull usually wouldn't be a friend of the crab, but for some reason they got along fine. If the crab had found something interesting to eat, he'd say, "Would you like to partake?" which means join me in eating something nice. And the seagull just, "Yes, I'd love to. I'd love to eat something nice, wouldn't you?" Yes. Yes, and here's the end of a fish that they shared earlier. Now, one fine day, when I've turned the page, we will ignore these dots. These dots are just left over small fish. There's a small fish hanging around. One day, the crab was relaxing. He had his pincers behind his back, and he was sunbathing. Oh, I love sunbathing. Yes, a funny sort of way, but he was on a deck chair. Yes, he was on a deck chair, which is very badly drawn, but we don't mind that it's badly drawn. The seagull came up. He was quite upset. He said, "Oh my goodness gracious me, and all my feathers." Yes, his feathers are there, you see, and he says, "Oh my goodness gracious feathers." "Yes," he said, "you know what? I think a spaceship has landed upon the beach." "My goodness gracious," said the crab while I coloured him in. "Are you sure you haven't eaten some poisoned fish, or have been watching too much YouTube, perhaps?" No, I have not," said the seagull in a very posh, sort of, "I've read a lot of books and stuff" voice, which is perfectly natural and normal, but seagulls don't normally talk like that. Possibly. Anyway, the seagull said, "Come on, come with me, I will show you what's happened." So they ran like this, into the distance, up the hills, round the corner, where the palm tree is up there somewhere, you see. They ran as, well, the crab sort of went like that, and the seagull flapped, but they were kind of running, if you know what I mean. And as they came up the hill, here's the hill, and they came up, here's the crab, and he's going as fast as he possibly can, and the seagull was actually flying, so it was a lot easier for the seagull, as you see him here. Unfortunately, he did a poo, but it missed the crab, otherwise they would not have a friendship for long. Anyway, they got to the top of this, which the hill was green, by the way, so I should colour in a little bit of green. They had left the beach, and they were making their way up this hill. Yes. And we'll turn the page. When they got to the top of the hill, which is indicated or shown by this green, they saw a large spaceship. It was a spaceship. Oh yes, it was a spaceship. And I'm going to move so you can see the spaceship better. There it is. Now, in the spaceship, there were 2 very strange looking people. Yes, one had a bobbly thing on his head like this, but he seemed quite pleasant. He was smiling. And another one had similar eyes and a sort of smile, and he had 2 bobbly things on his head. And they were peering out of the bubbly sort of top of this thing. The crab came up and said, "Oh my goodness gracious me, What on earth are you... I'll just draw his legs, otherwise he doesn't feel comfortable without legs. What are you doing here, he said. You're from outer space, most possibly. This is our beach. We have a nice, easy, relaxing life here. We don't need to be visited by people from outer space, do we? And the seagull looked up and he said, yes, I quite agree. I quite agree. We don't need any visits. Yes, that's what the seagull said, in a very stern sort of way, unlike the seagull, because he was normally easygoing. In fact, I remember one day when there was a big argument and the seagull says, oh, come on everybody, just chill out and let's go and catch some small fish. And they went, do you know what, let's do it, who cares? And it was, you know, easygoing, solving problems, kind of seagull that I'd like to hang out with myself. Anyway, I must get on with this. So the two little, they were actually little green men. They were little green men, except there was a little orangey bit just here. Yeah, for some reason there was an orangey bit, which is, well, it's orange, isn't it, really, you see? And the spacecraft had a sort of like bluey thing like this. And for some reason, it said at the front, hello. Hello, Earthlings, people of Earth. Hello, Earthlings, how are you? In a strange sort of, yeah, sort of way that you could read it, you know. So there you go. Anyway, so they said, well, these two. And he says, oh, my name's Orc, and my name's Bork, which I've just made up because it sounds like space names, doesn't it? Orc said, well, we're actually a little bit lost. Yeah, we are lost. Can you read that? He said, we're lost. And Borg said, yes, I'm so sorry, we are lost. Yes, we are. You can't read that. Look, lost. I'm lost. That's Orc. And that's Borg. Oh, you're lost, said the seagull. Well, as soon as Dave has changed the page, we'll decide what to do. Yes, so the seagull looked around. He looked around, he looked a bit puzzled. He looked at the, his neck's got thicker, but it doesn't matter, he's still the same seagull. He looked and he went, oh, what am I going to do? What are we going to do about this? This is us. And the crab looked up and says, well, I don't really know. Do you have a map? Do you know... I tell you what, let's ask Bork and Mork where on earth they come from. Where do you come from, they said, and then Orc looked over, he said, well, I'm sort of up there, sort of, you know, sort of 2 billion miles away, it's sort of on the left. Ah, right, it's on the left, is it? Okay, good. Have you got a map for a seagull? And the seagull said, well, I actually do have, funny enough, in my pocket, an interstellar map, which means map of the stars. He says, okay, just up on the left, about 2 million. So he got out a calculator, a little pocket calculator, and started calculating exactly where it was. They came from a star called Bongo. Bongo, it turns out. They were from the star Bongo. Yes, the star Bongo. Aha! Aha, said the seagull. I know that star well. So let me just turn the page. Excuse me. So, they looked at the map very closely. The seagull, the crab, and Orc and Bork. Yes, and they figured it out. Well, we'll have to go here and turn left here, go up a bit there, over here, probably stop for sandwiches here, go over here. It's lovely there. You can visit the mountains. There's a lovely sea over there. And then if you keep going, don't go down this road. You'll get there. It'll take you about, I'd say, about 5 days. Yes, yes. Yeah, we've solved it, said the seagull. We've solved it. The seagull said, oh, well done, said the crab. Oh, thank you, said Orc. That's fabulous. Well, okay, good. That seems to have solved it then. So, yes, simple as that, really. So Orc said, well, it has been wonderful to be here, you know, and my friend here, Bork, I'll write his name, Bork. Here's Bork here. He's a happy, happy alien because, well, they know the way home now, really, thanks to the seagull. And they sort of smiled in a smiley alien way, you know, and obviously they were green, so we'll do the green and so forth on them, which is green, you know. And of course that funny little yellowy bit, or sorry, orangey bit. Yes, and they said, you know what, why don't we all drink some lemonade before we go? And the crab said, well, yes, he sort of stuttered, which means he couldn't quite speak properly, and he said, well, do you know what, I don't really drink lemonade because I'm a crab, but I'll tell you what, I'll have some fish juice. And he produced in his pincers some lovely fish juice, yes. And the seagull says, well, I don't really drink lemonade, but as it's your going home thing, you know, I'll tell you what I'll do, is I'll have some fish juice too, lovely fish juice, not too much, I don't want to get drunk, you know. So there you go, they had a lovely time, and eventually Bork and Bork decided, well, we must go, we can't stay, we've enjoyed the lemonade. And the little spacecraft took off into the sky, and the crab and the seagull watched them from down on their favourite beach, and they said goodbye. Goodbye, Ork, and goodbye, Bork. And that was the story of the seagull and the crab and their friends who went home because they found out where they should go. There you go, goodbye.